Hey guys, I'm Ray and welcome back to another Animal Crossing speed build video. Sort of been obsessed with playing this game lately, not gonna lie. I've been super inspired to play and I've been building a lot, more so than what you're seeing here. This was from, I think, last week. I'm not sure. I don't edit as fast as I actually play, obviously, and like I mentioned before, I don't record everything that I do, but I do try to record some of it. This is building right off of the side of the museum where I am putting Raymond's offices. He is the business cat, as we all know, and his offices are, I want it to be in like the city portion of the town, obviously. So I'm obviously working on the downtown-ish side of things, so it's right off the alleyway we just built for the museum, which I mentioned that I wasn't going to deconstruct my shopping district, but I might actually end up doing it because there is so much lag. I don't know, has anybody else been experiencing crazy lag? I mean, I know if you have a lot of items, there's going to be lag, but that area was lagging as soon as I started playing the game again. Like, the area was filled with stalls and crazy things like that well before I stopped playing like 9 months ago, and it didn't lag. But when I came back afterwards, I noticed that that area had lag, and adding more to it just made it lag even more. So I think I might end up having to tweak my shopping district. I'm not going to record it. I won't. But you know, I do think I'm going to tweak my shopping district. I'm not going to change it much in the sense that it's still going to be that same vibe of like the messy, like crowded buildings. But I think what might end up changing too is that I might end up deconstructing this alleyway we just put together. I know, right? It sucks, but I mean, you shouldn't be afraid to take things apart. I'm just trying to keep the lag at a manageable level. I expect that this area might lag some because obviously I'm putting a ton of things down, lots of items and stuff, but I mean, this area in particular lags a lot. So like, since I've recorded this, I've done more to like the entrance pathway of my island. I did not record a speed build for that one, but I can link the video that gave me the inspiration in the comments or in the description, because I got it from a YouTuber, EJ Plays. He's making like a dystopia looking town, and I really love the vibe there. I want my town to look somewhat grungy. I don't want it to look full on dystopia, like it's not going to be completely like, you know, derelict and torn apart, but I do like obviously the grungy looking aesthetic. You can see I'm using a lot of those retro transportation stations, which are kind of rusty metal things to kind of mock the buildings, and I like that look, but I don't want the whole island, thanks phone for making a noise, but I don't want the whole island to look completely torn apart. But I kind of took inspiration from him because he also had a resident services that's really, really close to like the airport, which mine's is relatively close. I got some space, but it's pretty close. So he basically made like apartment buildings right in the entryway. You should watch his video. That's where I got inspiration from. But I've done something similar since then in my entryway. And again, lots of faux buildings, albeit, but it doesn't lag as much. Like, there's a bit of lag in that area, which is understandable. There's a bit of a slowdown, but I'm not really slow. But in my shopping district area, I mean, the slowdown is sort of intense there, and it bothers me. Typically I probably wouldn't care too much if it was like, you know, just a thing, but it bothers me that I slow down so much, especially since I am always running to Nook's Cranny to like sell something. So the fact that Nook's Cranny's over there and I lag so much there, it bothers me. If it was just a random area where I kind of rarely go or don't have to visit that often, I probably wouldn't care, but Nook's Cranny is sort of central, especially Nook's. Able Sisters, I mean, I guess you could say not so much. I check there once a day to see if there's any interesting looking like clothes, but 99% of the time I don't buy anything from the Able Sisters. Sometimes I don't even bother going in there, but the Nook's Cranny is super important, and I'm thinking I might end up moving the Able Sisters to maybe the other side of resident services just to try to space them out. I don't know if maybe the fact that those are buildings that I guess have to generate items inside of them to cause I don't know, you guys. I don't know why the game lags like it does. It sort of sucks because, you know, obviously the point of the game is to decorate, but it's like when you do decorate, it lags. So, you know, it kind of sucks. And like I mentioned, it was lagging even before I made alterations to the shopping district, and it was like lagging then when I first started playing again, and it didn't lag before. So not sure what's going on with that. I will probably tear apart that part and maybe move the Able Sisters over to the other side of resident services, which I have since done adjustments to since recording this video. This is from a while back. I think I will have at least one more speed build that I have recorded for you guys, playing off of that entrance of the faux buildings coming in the entrance. So it's like scattered buildings as you walk through, so you have to walk around them to get to resident services. And I sort of have started building like a dock, like a boat dock or like a fishing dock off to the right side. I did record that one. I do apologize too, because at some point, even in this video, the time is going to change. I mentioned this before. I don't do a lot of time travel in this game. I will time travel. It depends on what my time looks like and what I feel like doing. If I want to continue with my build and I need to like move a building or get a staircase built, most times, I mean, I don't have a problem like time traveling a day to make that work. But normally I'm just continuing on with what I'm doing, and I just wait until the next day, because most of the times I won't have time to finish what I'm trying to do anyway. So you'll see even in this speed build where at some point I think the time like completely shifts and it becomes like sunset, and that's because I think I stopped to walk my dog, which happens a lot. Like I'll be building and then it's like, oh, I gotta go walk the dog, so I'll go walk her or something, or stop to eat lunch and then go walk her. And so there's a few hours in between the scenes that you're like seeing, so the time of day changes. I could again time travel to adjust it, but it wasn't that big of a deal to me. I don't really care too much. I think even the other speed build I'm talking about posting, I pretty much did like in the middle of the night, because I was just sitting up still playing Animal Crossing and it was dark out. I mean, it probably sucks, I guess, for you guys. If it bothers you guys that it's dark out, like, I guess I could time travel back to earlier in the day if it makes it a bit easier. It doesn't bother me, but I mean, if I'm recording the speed builds to share with you guys and it bothers you guys, I will time travel to like earlier in the day. So I guess it's a bit easier to see, but I'm not actually doing anything. I feel like that I don't know if you guys learn anything from these or if it's just more interest in seeing it. I don't know if I've mentioned it before, but I never have a plan when I go into builds with Animal Crossing. That's why in a lot of these speed builds, and I'm probably doing something similar like right now at this point in the video, I'm like placing things down, picking them up, looking at it, I don't like that, moving around. Like there's no plan. I don't have an idea. I kind of have a vague thing that I know I want to do, but it's just sort of like I just have an inventory full of items and I just place them around until I like the way they look, if that makes any sense. So I don't have like a plot or a plan. I don't have like a drawn out picture of the layout of my island. I'm sort of winging it right now in the sense of where things are going, how they're placed, and sort of what they look like. I'm kind of winging it. I like the items that came with 2.0 because they've made a bit of sort of like that grunge aesthetic look a bit easier to do. But again, in terms of the layout of the island and where things are being placed, winging it, totally winging it. So I don't feel bad changing things around. So just to give you guys like a heads up, don't be shocked if I do a speed build and then I come back later for like updating on the town and things are in a totally different location because I changed things around a lot. But this one is sort of that continuation of the city, and like I mentioned, that whole vibe finishes on near resident services. I have a lot of like faux buildings there. I'm trying to minimize the lag still. I don't want it to lag a lot because I know if I release like a dream address, I don't want you guys to have to deal with insane amounts of lag in the world, and I would like the world to still be playable when I run through it. So trying to keep that at a minimum. I really do like decorating though, and I like clutter. I said it before, I'm a huge fan of clutter, so it kind of sucks that the more I clutter things, which is what I like to do, the more the game lags, which makes total sense. Don't get me wrong, I get it. It sucks. It sucks a lot. But basically, this area that we accomplished, it's not much for it to have taken as long as it did. Like, I edit this down to, like, what is this, like 20 minutes or something? I don't even know. At 3 times the speed. This took a few hours to do. Like I mentioned, though, it's sort of like a lot of back and forth with me because I don't have a plan. I suppose if I knew what I wanted to do, this would be a lot faster to do. I even think we skip a day at some point in this speed build where, yeah, see, it just got a little darker here. That was when I came back from like walking my dog. And then I think I do actually skip to the next day at some point where I have placed the staircase that I was putting right there by the museum. So you kind of go through that little tight alleyway and you come up. and there's a staircase there, and so we'll actually skip to the next day. I do skip around a bit too when I'm playing around with some of the plants, just because I thought it was boring. I mean, I'm like picking up plants and putting them down and trying to find a way for them to work. I apologize if you, I guess, wanted to see that, but to me that was sort of like a boring part of the video. I'm not doing anything necessarily special there, but I don't think you have to worry too much about. You didn't miss anything, trust me. You'll kind of see the plants back there. It's nothing special in terms of landscaping. I wasn't trying very hard because all that area at the top might change. It depends on what I plan to do going further back. If you haven't noticed, the terraforming in the back is extremely rough. It's like a bunch of square corners. My dog is scratching the carpet. Iris, sweetie. Sorry, my dog has gone insane. I think she's ready for me to walk her this morning now that I'm recording this. Of course, she waits, chews her bones silently until I start to record, and then she's like, Mom, pay attention to me. But yeah, so in terms of terraforming though, in the background, it's pretty rough. I probably am going to change it a lot, but right now I'm not focused on that part. I mentioned before, I'm kind of taking this one step at a time. This has allowed me to make progress a lot faster than I was before, and I'm also ripping down all the terraforming you see in the background, and with my army of gyroids. I love the gyroids, by the way, guys. They are my children. I love them. They're my babies. They're so cool. I love catching one every day and finding one every day. It is so fun. I loved it. And I have my army just spread out in the background back there of everyone that I found. I've gotten a lot of repeats. I'm still looking for like at least one of each gyroid. I want one of each at least, but working on that. But yeah, so all of the terraforming you see behind me, I am deconstructing. I've like moved where my house is located. I'm planning on ripping down that mountain that it was originally on, and I'm gonna re-put them everywhere, obviously. So that's gonna all change, because at this point, when I'm actually putting in a decent effort here, I'm finding that I'm working better going one section at a time. So just building off the last thing I built and expanding upon it. And none of this is 100% complete, especially in terms of small items. Like if I place a box somewhere, the overall structure of the terraforming will probably stay the same, but I wouldn't be shocked if it's like, oh, I moved this trash can to another area, or I like placed this box somewhere else. So that's the type of stuff I'm not going to record if I find that stuff just works better in another location. But I will try to do some of the bigger areas, I guess. But like I mentioned, I'm not going to do everything in what I'm doing. I don't know how to connect the next part, I guess, of my island off of the city. So that's going to be, I think, a struggle, is trying to toy around with how I want to connect this city, grunge, city-esque area to the next portion of my town. I'll figure it out. I think I'm going now from my shopping district. There's like a river and then my shopping district, and then I'm kind of expanding to the right, and I'm pretty much hitting the beach over there now with the builds I was just talking about, that fishing dock, which will be the next video I post, probably. That one has now gotten me hitting the beach over to the right side of my island now. I have to figure out how I want to start expanding backwards, and then how I want to transition into some slightly different areas, because my whole island is not going to be a city grunge aesthetic like it is. I do have plans to do some other types of things, hence why I said it's hard for me right now to classify my island. Maybe you guys can help me do that at the end once I'm done, and tell me what my island would be. My dog is again scratching the carpet. She really wants me to walk her, so I'm gonna stop talking and let you guys hear the rest of the music. Just chill and watch the rest of the speed build. I'll come back in at the end and we'll do a couple like just follow-ups of what it looks like as of today, and then I'll see you guys in the next speed build. So I'll catch you guys at the end here.